Hi guys, I want to address something that comes up a lot in life. That's kind of a normalized part of our lingo, and I'm sure that you've either said this to someone or someone said this to you before. Or have you heard someone say this to someone at some point in your life? And it's this. It's, are you okay? I feel like I need to check up on you. Is everything okay? Is anything wrong? Usually, this happens in a relationship dynamic where one person is changing and the other person is kind of staying more or less stagnant. And the person that's kind of staying stagnant is checking in because they're worried about the person that's changing or acting in a different way than what they're usually used to. This has nothing to do with the person being checked up on and everything to do with the person asking the question, is everything okay with you? When the person that's getting asked the question can turn around and be like, yeah, but is everything okay with you? Because at the end of the day, there's an uncomfortability being projected onto somebody else, right? It's like, oh, like you're not doing this like you used to, or you're not, they're making something wrong about you or the way you're operating, because it's making them uncomfortable. It's making them feel triggered in some way, and you could really say the ultimate trigger underneath all triggers is that trigger of being alone, of being abandoned, of being of the death of a relationship or something like that. But yeah, I just want to shed light on this because it's going to start happening more and more to people because of how fast things are changing this decade, this year even. So if you say this to people, can you catch yourself? Number one, it ain't about the person that you're pointing the finger on, it's about you. And then number two, if you're receiving this, can you have the conscious awareness of realizing it has nothing to do with you, and your growth that you're stepping into is triggering a part of the person that is used to you being a certain more limited way. We still live in this world of conditional expectations, unspoken expectations. And when people start to, or when they stop rather, to doing some of those things that are unconsciously expected of them to do, that's when people start getting triggered. That's when, shit can hit the fan for some people, and that uncomfortability that some people aren't used to is very easily projected onto someone else, as if they are the problem, as if they're needing to do some of the fixing, when in reality, again, it's emotions that the person pointing the finger gets to look at, gets to feel, gets to process. And I'll keep saying this in many, many videos that I do. It's never about the other person, ever. Even, they did this to me, they broke up with me, they got me mad, they made me feel sad. It's never about them. If you didn't have shit within you to get triggered, you would see that they're never doing anything to you. People just trigger you when there's stuff inside of you, trauma, that has just been in the subconscious. If someone, made fun of me, like, say someone said, for example, like growing up, if someone, let me back this up because there's 2 points I want to address to this since I'm going down this rabbit hole. Number one, people get triggered for 2 reasons. Number one, about aspects that are them that they haven't loved yet, and then number 2, aspects that aren't them. So if someone tried to make fun of me for being a race other than white. It would never trigger me because I never identified with a race other than white. Okay? That's just an example because it's an easy identification thing. And then number two, if someone called me gay growing up, that would be a part of who I am, a part of my identity, but it was a part of me that I wasn't in love with at all growing up. So that would trigger the trauma that was within me of self-hate that I took on of being gay. But see, it's easy to say like, oh, that person made fun of me, that person, is not respecting me, etc. And like, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone makes fun of you for being gay growing up, that's true. But at the same time, from a much higher perspective, they're, if you're conscious, they're allowing you to see what's still being stored within you, that you get to look at and clear and love, because at the end of the day, we're meant to feel that and move on. If someone calls me out for being gay now, like, are you gay? It's like, fuck yes, honey, yes I am. Like, it's not everything about who I am, but it's a part of me that I've have taken in and loved and celebrate now. So I hope this helps. It's never about the other person. It's really not. And again, it's such a commonplace thing in our society to be like, I'm the person putting it on you, I'm worried about you, or is everything okay? When in reality, something's usually not okay. Almost always okay if you're talking about emotions with the person who's actually asking the question. I hope this helps, guys. Have a good night, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace.